Violet Mary Firth was a British occultist, ceremonial magician, writer, and co-founder of the Fraternity of the Inner Light, known under the name Dion Fortune. Born in 1890 in Llandudno, the daughter of solicitor Arthur Firth and Sarah Jane Smith, she attended the Studley Agricultural College, working on staff during 1913, but leaving due to a mental breakdown. Thereafter, she studied psychology and psychoanalysis at the University of London under John Flugel. After the outbreak of World War I, she joined the Women's Land Army, an organisation that employed women in agriculture to replace men fighting on the front. In 1919, she joined her first occult society, the London Temple of the Alpha et Omega. Between 1923 and 1925, she and her friend Charles Loveday claimed to be in psychic communication with the ascended masters, including the likes of Socrates and Thomas Erskine, receiving several segments of what they would later call the Cosmic Doctrine. In 1924, she co-founded an occult society with a headquarters situated at Bayswater. During her time in agriculture, she experimented with soy milk and founded the Garden City Pure Food Company to sell her products in 1925. In 1927, she married Tom Penry Evans, but the two divorced by 1933. In 1928, she founded the Fraternity of the Inner Light within her group, concerned with the lesser mysteries. She died of leukemia at Middlesex Hospital in 1946. She published several novels between 1926 and 1938, alongside many technical, non-fiction works on spiritism and the occult, such as The Mystical Kabbalah or Sane Occultism. In 1935, she published her third book and second novel, The Winged Bull, which we shall be reviewing today. Ted Murchison, freshly discharged from the army, is taking a stroll through the British Museum, where he sees a Lamashu, or winged bull, from Nineveh. While there, he feels an ancient primal presence, like that of an old god, and calls out his invocation to Pan, as best he remembers it, but only ends up meeting an old friend named Brangwyn, whom he had not seen in years. Brangwyn takes him to his home, a luxuriously furnished apartment in a worn-down, ruined house in the bad part of town. Here he is employed by Brangwyn to guard him and specifically his sister during a planned occult ritual. Brangwyn suspects his sister Ursula is in danger during the ritual, especially if she is to fall under the influence of two-bit thug and two-bit magician Astley, who has some history with Ursula and who intends to use her for a black mass. Brangwyn employs Murchison to not only physically guard his sister, but to work as a double agent, pretending to be paid off by Astley and giving him some worthless documents. After some ruckus caused by Astley and his minions, Ursula is evacuated to a house in the country, but Astley manages to secrete her to his house, partially with her agreement, and makes her do domestic work like washing the stairs to prepare for the coming Black Mass. Brangwyn is not worried, confident that Murchison will eventually rescue her, though it seems he had hoped to bind the two together romantically to make the supernatural defense stronger. Murchison sneaks into the Black Mass, saves the girl, and manages to make Astley get off his case permanently by lightly threatening him. That's right, the man whose villainy Fortune spent half the book going on about, who killed 3 people that we know of, and who turned Ursula's ex into a drug user to more easily control him, just gets a finger wagging and gets sent on his way. The supernatural in the book is relegated to some underwhelming rituals, and the Black Mass doesn't even have anything that weird or bizarre happen. Worse, most of the novel consists of people sitting around, talking, and a lot of spiritist jargon is spewed besides. Despite some interesting ideas and a brilliant first chapter, this is yet another example in how believers in the occult write the worst and most disappointing supernatural fiction.